mistakes actually. He clouted one down the back and he clouted the pond quite hard, but Bill wouldn't have really minded. And the fascinating part of this situation here is, you know, you've got a whole circuit of Sandown to go, and everyone's still standing, but they're going to have to go through it, and it'll be a very different set of horses when they come up the next time. Highway Pat, Peter Studemore's been sheltering him out the back, and he's been going all right, but as I say, no real action yet. Jimmy Miff has been running up and back again. He's been driven up to the lead, but this is where they've gone pretty steady. The action will quicken, mistakes can be fatal, and Diamond Edge's quick jumping can work. Let's just see them come here. Tenny Coon has been having some misunderstandings with his rider about where to take off, but jumped the last two quite well. Peter Scot is dominating things as he likes to at the moment. Diamond Edge jumped that well. The Vintner did one of his miss-outs and has put him out of the race, and Highway Pat in a good position. If he gets the trip, he's still perfectly poised to take them. But turning into the back straight at Sandown for the Cazalet and Mildmay Memorial, it's a perfect sitting for Graham to pick it up.
10 to jump, and the two that have disputed the lead throughout still have the advantage at the rear of the field. Jimmy Miff, Midday Welcome mistakes, but it's Tenny Coon the leader from Peter Scot in second place. Tenny Coon from Peter Scot, Diamond Edge getting closer. Artistic Prince is in fourth, then Royal Mail and Highway Pat, and these clear from the other three. There Diamond Edge made a mistake and is still in third place. Peter Scot the leader, Tenny Coon in second place, Diamond Edge is third, Highway Pat, Royal Mail begins to improve, Artistic Prince comes next, and these were clear of the other three. Peter Scot, Tenny Coon, Diamond Edge into the next. Peter Scot, Tenny Coon, Diamond Edge, Royal Mail, Highway Pat, Artistic Prince finding the pace a bit hot. He's just getting relegated to sixth place now, getting a bit outpaced. This is the three railway fences coming to the first, and it's Peter Scot, Tenny Coon, Diamond Edge, Highway Pat a slight mistake, Royal Mail is in fourth. They've got two to jump on the far side. Peter Scot and their Tenny Coon a mistake, a better jump by Diamond Edge. Close on the heels of the leader, Peter Scot. Last on the far side, Peter Scot, Diamond Edge from Tenny Coon, Royal Mail, Highway Pat, Artistic Prince, the Vintner, Jimmy Miff, Midday Welcome, all still in the race, with a long, long way behind the leader, which is Peter Scot, lengthening his stride as they turn into the home straight with just the three to jump. It's Peter Scot in the lead from Diamond Edge, with Highway Pat breaking up ground on the outside. Tenny Coon in fourth place, Royal Mail fifth. The Vintner begins to stay on, coming down to the third from home, and it's Peter Scot and Diamond Edge. Peter Scot, Diamond Edge, Highway Pat, Tenny Coon, with the Vintner improving up on the outside, coming down to the third from home, and as they come into it, it was Peter Scot and Highway Pat and Diamond Edge on the inside from Peter Scot. Peter Scot there regains the lead as they level out. Peter Scot, Diamond Edge, Highway Pat and the Vintner coming down to the second last, and it's Peter Scot, Diamond Edge, Highway Pat, the Vintner. Diamond Edge made a mistake, one to jump. Peter Scot, Diamond Edge, Highway Pat, with the Vintner staying on the stand side. Coming down to the final fence, Peter Scot in the lead from Diamond Edge. Peter Scot, Diamond Edge, the Vintner, Highway Pat. At the last, Peter Scot, Diamond Edge, another mistake. It's Peter Scot in the lead, drawing away now from Highway Pat, the Vintner and Diamond Edge. As they come well inside the final half furlong, it's Peter Scot striding up to the post in the lead. At the post, he's the winner. Peter Scot, the Vintner is second. Highway Pat is third. Then in fourth place came Diamond Edge, a gap then to Artistic Prince and Royal Mail.